15 of the fantasy basketball season. And here's a few guards I've looked to drop this week. The first guy, Alex Caruso of the Chicago Bulls. Caruso, he went down on Friday night's ball game with a bad wrist fracture, and he's going to be out for a while now, is Caruso, and undergoing surgery. So obviously, it was a bad fall in that ball game versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Grayson Allen took him out pretty hard, and he landed hard on the hardwood, breaking that wrist. So he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks here, is Caruso. On the season, he was having a pretty decent first season with the Bulls after signing as a free agent coming from Los Angeles Lakers to Chicago. On the season, 8.4 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.9 steals, 1.1 threes a game, and 42% from the field. So he was giving owners a decent amount of categories, but he just couldn't catch a break here. And now he breaks the wrist, and he's going to be out for the majority of the fantasy basketball season. So the last 2 games before he went down, January 19th versus Cleveland, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, a 3, 25% from the field. January 21st in Milwaukee, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, a block, 27% from the field. So now, with the long timetable and the bad injury, owners have dropped him already in 10% of fantasy leagues. And this week here, in my opinion, there's no reason to hold on to Caruso, and I would cut him loose this week. The second guy is Diablo of the Detroit Pistons. It seems like we've seen flashes for a few weeks the last couple years from Diablo, and then he disappears and he's out of the rotation. On the season here for Diablo, 10.7 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 1.2 steals a game, and 51% from the field. The last couple weeks here, his numbers have pretty much been the same: 11 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 1.1 steals, and 47% from the field. But right now, his playing time's definitely taking a hit, especially over the last 2 games here for Diablo, with Detroit getting healthy and most of their players back. January 19th at Sacramento, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 80% from the field. January 21st at the Utah Jazz, 8 points, a rebound, 2 assists, a steal, 50% from the field. And January 23rd at the Denver Nuggets, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 42% from the field. So right here, Diablo, he's just not getting enough playing time. He's not putting up enough numbers. And I know he had that great stretch in December, but right now in January, it's just been a mediocre run for him. And fantasy owners have dropped him in 6% of fantasy leagues, and I would this week too, with better options out there. And the third and final guard I would drop this week's Malik Monk of the Los Angeles Lakers. And Malik Monk, he's been a hot and cold fantasy option this season here. There's some weeks where he has 25, 30-point games, and then some weeks where he's only scoring 8 or 9 points. On the season here for Monk, 11.9 points a game, 3 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 2.1 threes a game, and 47% from the field. And the last couple weeks here, the numbers, they played pretty steady to what they were. 11.2 points a game, 4 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 1.8 threes a game, and 51% from the field. So right now, fantasy owners have dropped Monk in 4% of fantasy leagues, and he's still getting playing time, 25, 30 minutes a game here, but he's not really put up numbers or stat lines. And now with Anthony Davis returning here tonight in Tuesday's ball game, I don't think Malik Monk's going to see much of an offensive role with another great scorer back in the Laker lineup. So the last few games for him, January 19th versus the Pacers, 10 points, a rebound, 2 assists, a 3, 66% from the field. January 21st at the Magic, 10 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, a 3, and 44% from the field. And January 23rd at the Heat, 7 points, a rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals, a 3, 50% from the field. So right here, Malik Monk, he's just not getting it going. And we know his specialty for fantasy is hitting threes and scoring the basketball. And he's not doing that right now. So he's an easy guard to drop this week. So that's a few guards I would drop here for week 15 of the fantasy basketball season.